Welcome back to Green Connections. Here's a great quote for you. We must not, in trying to think about how we can make a big difference, ignore the small daily differences we can make, which, over time, add up to big differences that we often cannot foresee. That's Marian Wright Edelman. So don't underestimate your role. To wrap up today's show, I spoke with Lisa Ann Pinkerton of Technica Communications. She spends every day helping you and me, the consumer, understand the sustainability issues and take actions, buy green and live green, with our money and our time. Do you recycle? That may sound basic, but the statistics are ridiculous. Only about 8% of the recyclable materials in the U.S. are actually recycled. We can do better. Let's listen to Lisa Ann Pinkerton.
Hi, this is Joan Michelson of Green Connections. I'm here at the Verge San Francisco 2013 conference, and I'm here with Lisa Ann Pinkerton, who is founder and CEO of Technica Communications. She specializes in sustainability and corporate social responsibility related issues. So my first question for you is, at Verge here, we're talking about all these innovations that are changing our world. Some of them have arrived. Some of them are about to happen, some of them are in process. We can have, and companies are doing a lot. We can have lots of companies taking lots of these actions, and we need them to be doing that. But the companies are made up of individuals who are people, who are consumers. And without consumers doing their part, I'm not convinced we can really have a green economy, okay? And the one piece that's still really missing is consumers are really not adopting this quite yet. Recycling is pathetic in this country. Electric vehicles are, all of this is growing. It's trending up, which is great. But the numbers are still, the percentages are minuscule. So what actions are consumers adopting, and how do we get them to do more?
Mm-hmm. Great question, and thank you for having me. This is really exciting.
You're welcome.
I always go back to, it's the education component. A lot of people just don't know the possibilities and know what's out there. But more importantly, we are very receptive to what our peers do and what our peers share for us. So the more of us that can share with others what we're doing and how we're incorporating sustainability practices in every part of our lives, the more that other people are going to learn about that and implement it themselves. When I was in college, I recycled, but the girl who lived below me didn't. And the only reason she didn't is because nobody really showed her how easy it was. And once I did that, she became a very strong proponent of recycling. And that's just one example of how, as a society, especially as consumers and consumers working in these companies that are doing great things, we need to take that philosophy and really start to evangelize it more.
So it's a function of making it easy for them to say yes to these actions.
Mm-hmm.
What can companies do? What can people do individually? Companies are trying to get this message out. I mean, everybody loves green branding, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, mom and pop and apple pie. But at the same time, there's still a lot of skepticism that, is it really going to pay off because the, consumers are, they say they want, 71% of consumers say they consider the environment when making a purchasing decision, but it doesn't close the deal.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not getting the information they need to do it with. So how do we change the paradigm and faster?
We change the paradigm through creating emotional connections for people. One of the issues around sustainability and corporate social responsibility is that everybody's got a different value proposition. For some people, maybe they're mothers and they want to leave the planet better for their children.
Oh,
maybe
different motivator.
Everybody's got a different motivation, and that's what makes it really difficult to get the word out to people and to get people getting the information that they need and then taking action on it. So the more we all can do, especially from companies, to educate the consumer, tell stories, use case studies, real life examples with pictures of these real people talking about what they did, that's how we're going to get people really motivated to make a change in their lives. Because let's face it, we like stability, we like things to remain constant, there's a fear of change, but if you put change into a perspective of this is actually doing something good. You feel good about it. It's like making a donation at church. You feel a little bit better once you've done it.
So how does money play into this? I mean, a lot of what we hear is, money savings through energy savings, energy efficiencies, saving money on gas by driving an electric car or a plug-in hybrid or a hybrid. Where does money come in? I mean, you would think that, everybody loves to save money. You see these ads of, 20% off and they stand in line waiting, right? So where does money play into the hierarchy of decision-making factors?
I think it's a very strong decision factor, especially the closer you get to business and the closer you are to businesses making these decisions. And it also depends on what position on the economic scale people are. So the higher on the economic scale you are, the less motivated you're going to be about saving money. More motivated you're going to be about making a philosophical statement with your solar panels or your Tesla vehicle or what have you.
So the higher income levels are more interested in sort of the value-driven buy, and is there an income level where that breaks? I mean, is it $50,000 a year? Is it $100,000 a year?
I think it depends on where you live, really.
Okay.
I mean, here it's probably going to be higher than somewhere else in the country.
Here in San Francisco.
Yeah, San Francisco.
Or any probably major metropolitan area that has a similar cost.
And I mean, it all depends on a variety of factors, specifically how close to a fear factor losing money is for a person in their psyche.
Ah.
Right? So if you have money scarcity, and you're afraid of losing money or spending too much money, you actually might be more motivated to go a sustainability route because it's going to save you money.
Yeah, but we could talk about this for a long time, which we don't have time right now, but there are investments you have to make in order to make some of these savings too. And so it's a do I spend it now and save it later, or do I not spend it now and spend more later?
And for a lot of people, they don't have the money to spend it now and save it later.
Right.
So we got to come up with more financing models, like we've talked about here, to make it really easy for people.
We need innovation in financing models.
We definitely need innovation in financing models, especially with the retrofit market, with energy efficiency. Solar's pretty much taken care of as far as the financing is concerned, but there's so much more we need to be doing around energy efficiency and sustainability.
Well, one of the things that I know, and I know that you know, is women make 80% of the purchasing decisions and make or influence. When I was in the car business, people would say men are the ones that buy cars, but what really happens if you drill into the research is the woman in the household says, here, honey, here's 5 cars I'll buy, pick one. I rest my case. So, and you founded a group called Women in Clean Tech and Sustainability. How do we get more women involved professionally in this space and able to get more economic parity?
We get more women involved in the space by providing them with avenues to network with each other, share experiences, and support each other in their career development. We have a lot of women in our group. We have almost 500 members right now.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Most of them are in the Bay Area, but they're also all over the country. And
like you said.
but the majority of we have a good chunk of the women want to move from high tech into clean tech, or they want to move from wherever they are into the sustainability space.
Oh, that's interesting. So they want to transition from another industry.
They want to transition.
Rather than make their own industry more green, they want to get into the sustainability. Oh, that's interesting.
Well, I mean, there are women who are also making their industry more green, but there's more opportunity within the sustainability and clean tech sectors. There's more opportunity to move laterally.
What kind of roles are you seeing women generally in?
Well, women are either in the engineering, sales, business development, marketing arenas. We have a lot of scientists, a lot of incredibly smart women who have been doing mechanical engineering or electrical engineering in the high-tech computer spaces, and they want to take the expertise that they have and bring it to sustainability and clean tech, because that's really what's needed.
Well, that's what we really need. That is what we really need. That's great. Well, thank you so much, Lisa Ann Pinkerton of Technica Communications. Thank you for joining us on Green Connections and the Verge San Francisco 2013.
Thank you for having me.
Look forward to it. Thanks.
So as you can see, it's up to us. Thank you, Lisa Ann Pinkerton. Next week, we'll bring you our holiday show. How much will you go out to dinner or lunch or even breakfast this holiday season? It seems that holidays revolve around food. So next week, you'll hear from a top executive at Whole Foods about where all the money you spend at Whole Foods goes. And we'll introduce you to some very cool people who are taking the food that restaurants don't use from their kitchens and getting it to those who need it. And while you're buying gifts for your kids, do you want to teach your kids about water or energy or alternative energy? We'll bring you some cool children's gifts to add to your shopping list, too. Remember, go to greenconnectionsradio.com to enter to win a free 30-second ad on our Green Minute segment. Tell us what you drive and what you like about it or what frustrates you about it. Thank you for joining us on Green Connections. You can watch these interviews on video as well at greenconnectionsradio.com. Like us on Facebook and follow me on Twitter at Joan Michelson. Have a fabulous week. See you next time. Bye-bye for now.
Capital Audio Post, your one-stop shop for your post-production needs. 703-712-8757.
Our services include video editing, sound design, sound mixing, ISDN recording, and many other media-related services.
Let us finish your project no matter where you are, across the U.S. or across the world. Go to www.capitalaudiopost.com. Call us at 703-712-8757.
Let us know how we can help you finish your production.